Hello there. Today we're going to be going over the Noob.1 on Vulnhub. This is just a simple VM for noobs, really. It's an OVA file. You can download it on Vulnhub here. I'll put that link in the description. I'm going to be using Kali. You can use Kali or Parrot or any other pen testing distribution of Linux, really. I believe I have the Kali everything ISO installed, but here's my noob and here's Kali. You're going to want a network adapter which both of these virtual machines can access. I'm using VMware. You can use VirtualBox. I'm going to be using the host only because then that's an isolated network between these two computers, so it's nice and safe. So this noob is just on the default host only network, and then this Kali Linux VM. I've got a couple. I've got a bridged connection for the internet, and then I've also got host only for the isolated network. So yeah, my Kali VM just has 8 gigs of RAM. I've given it 6 cores, just the default hard disk, and then it's got all 8 gigs of my VRAM as well. So I'm going to get them both started. I'm using the free version of VMware as well. So we've got Noob and Kali. Noob in this case is the victim and Kali is the attacker. So this is just a simple CTF really. I believe there's 2 flags. So here we see on the Noob VM we have just a simple login, but obviously in this case we shouldn't have access to this. This is a remote penetration, if you will. So I'm going to log into my VM and keep it full screen from now on because we don't need to see noob really. It's quite a boring screen. So here we are in our lovely VM. We've got our beautiful terminal. You know, what more could you want? So I'm actually going to go to the desktop. I'm going to make a special directory called Noob.ova. Then I'm going to go into Noob.ova. I'll put that there as well. Alright, so obviously we've got nothing in here as we've just made it. First we want to do some reconnaissance. So I'm going to do an nmap scan. I'm going to do a stealthy scan of the services, the service versions, sorry. And then we're going to do all ports from 0 to what's the number? C63. It's like 65536 or something like that. And that'll be. Oh, actually, I've completely forgotten. We need to know what our target is. So I'm going to do a net discover. So NetDiscover will find machines on your network that respond to you, and I actually need to do an ifconfig as well, just to find out what my machine's IP address is. So obviously I've got multiple network adapters. This one is my home, it's a bridge network, and here we've got the host only, and then this is the loopback address. So we're focusing on the host only. So as you can see, this machine is 192.168.32.129. So I'll do a range of 192.168.32.129, and then /24, which is the subnet. And the way this works is, let me get a Paint 3D up real quick. So the subnet, that's like the most common subnet. And that's what we have in this case. So each column is actually 8 bits. So what that means is for each column that is 255, it will be 8 bits because 8-bit binary is 255, all adds up. It's 128 plus all of the lower values. So in this case we're going to be scanning the 255, 255, 255 subnet, which means we want 24 bits because 8 times 3 is 24. So we're going to be doing that right now. I'll put my password in, and here we just see we got the router. Honestly, not much coming up on the net discover, so I think I'm just going to stick to doing an nmap, but on this network. So I'm gonna, oh, I need a root, of course. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna exit this terminal actually, and I shall pop this one here. Actually, I'll keep that open just in case. And now we let nmap do its thing. This is basically, in a stealthy way, this is contacting all machines on the network, and it's trying to find out what ports are open on any connections it establishes. But it's doing this in a way that shouldn't alert most machines that don't have any like custom rules set up, basically. Alright, we're back. The nmap scan is finished. So here we have the first host. I believe this is a DHCP server, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure it is, because it is VMware and it's .1. So I think it might be, but I'm not sure. Or it's like the router. It's something network related. But here we have something that piques our interest. So obviously this is us. This will be some sort of VMware server, and then this one is some sort of VMware server. So that leaves 128, which must be a victim through process of elimination and by evaluating these ports. So we can see there's a HTTP server ran on this. It allows FTP, the file transfer protocol, which is something to note. And we've also discovered this SSH port as well, which is very, very nice. So if we hop onto the browser real quick and we type that IP address in, it's going to autocomplete because I've done this before. We get a lovely sign-in page. Now, I have done a dir buster on this, which, if you don't know, just scans all, like, it goes through a word list and scans for directories. So there's not really much we can do with this sign-in page. So we're going to move on, and we're going to get more detail about these protocols that we found. These ports, sorry. So we're going to do an aggressive scan now so that we can extract as much information as possible, because staying stealthy isn't really a concern anymore for this server. You know, it's a very basic server, and we're going to be scanning the ports 21, 80 and 55077, and that will be on the host 192.168.32.128. So we'll scan that, and this one really shouldn't take too long. Yeah, it took about 10 seconds, I would say. So here we see the FTP port. It allows an anonymous login, which is very important. I'll get to that in a minute. Skimming through, we see some basic HTTP knowledge, and then we also see that this is in fact definitely an SSH port, which we'll come to later. So for now, I want to access the FTP server. So we're going to go FTP 192.168.32.128, and this is going to ask us for a name, in which we are going to put anonymous, because it allows an anonymous login, which means you do not need a password. So now, as you can see, instead of being Kali, we're now FTP. So we're actually in the FTP server right now. So we can list, we see there's two files, cred.txt and welcome. So we're still in Noob.ova in the Kali, but as we're on the FTP server, we want to extract these two. We want to download them. So we're going to do get cred.txt and get welcome. So that's all we can really do in this server. So I'm going to terminate the connection and put exit. Gives us a lovely goodbye message there. And now, if we list, we've got 2 new files, cred and welcome. So we're going to cat cred, which gives us a base 64 string, and then I'll cat welcome. That gives us a lovely welcome. We're glad to see you here. All the best. Isn't that just romantic? Wow. So we want to decode this base 64. So all we have to do for that is base 64 /d for decode, and then we can put the text file actually. So we'll do that, and here we get champ:password. Now this is obviously a login of some sort, and as we don't really have anything else at the moment, we're going to try this on the website, and I'm also going to put this into decoded cred.txt, and then if we look here we can cat that and we'll see that there's the decoded message. So all I was doing here is outputting that to decoded cred, and if you put 2 arrows, I'm pretty sure it doesn't overwrite, so it'll just add instead of overwriting data. But for now we are going to go back to our browser, and we're going to put champ and password, and there we go. We're into the website. So you know, it's not a very exciting website. There's not much going on. It's quite a cool image, but that's about it really. There's not much going on, but we do have an about us, which is good. You know, we want to find out as much information as we can, and you can already see down in the bottom left of the browser the link is actually a RAR file. So we're going to click that, and we get our lovely downloads.rar. So we're going to Control X that, and I'm going to pop it on the desktop in Noob. Control X, if anyone doesn't know, is just cut, and then I'm pasting it, so basically moving the RAR. There's not really much else we can do on this website, as far as the eye can see. So I'm just going to sign out really and close the browser. And now we'll see that we've got the downloads.rar. So we're going to unrar X for all files, downloads.rar, and then you'll see here creating the downloads folder, extracting funny.jpg, extracting funny.bmp, and extracting sudo. So now we'll go to the new downloads folder, and we can see those 3 files that have been extracted are successfully extracted to this folder. So now we're going to cat sudo to see what's in here. We've got, did you notice the file name isn't is interesting. Now that is interesting. Isn't is interesting. Weird. So we've got 2 images here, and if I quickly minimize the terminal, I'll show you them. So we've got funny.jpg. I just wanted to say you are doing an awesome job. That is just too kind. These guys really are just sweethearts. I just don't know what to say really. Oh, we can see the horrible JPEG compression difference there. But oh, actually no, that must be a Kali. I don't even know. Okay, we're getting sidetracked. So we're doing an awesome job apparently. We're going to check this image for steganography, which is the act of hiding data within an image. So we're going to do steg hide dash help for help on the syntax of the command. And we can see here we've got embed, extract. So we want to extract data, so we're going to do steg hide extract, and then we want to specify the stego file, which is the file to extract data from, and we're going to put funny.jpg, and we're going to try an empty passphrase. And would you look at that, we have a file called hint.py, We're going to see what the code is for this, and we've got text here saying this is not a Python file, but you are revolving around. Well, try to rotate some words too. Lovely. So we've got obviously got a little hint there to something. We're going to try then extract the BMP now, and it appears that it does have a password. And if we do a little bit of big braining, then we will remember the sudo file says, did you notice the file name isn't as interesting? I'm going to be completely honest, I don't understand the hint, but what I do know is sudo is the password for this funny BMP. So now we have the user text extracted from this steganography. So we're going to extract, cat user, and here we have absolute nonsense. So if we look at the previous hint, we see try to rotate some words too. Now if we all think of a very famous cipher, then you may remember the Caesar cipher, which is where you rotate the characters based on a shift. So defaulting to that, we can go here and we'll see it's already there because I've done this before, and we'll brute force it. Decode FR is a great site, and we'll see with the shift of 13 we've got WTF : this one is a simple one. So obviously there we've got another login. So I'm going to paste that selection, and I'm going to control S and call this user.text. Oh wait, I'll call it decoded user.text. There we go. And we'll exit that, and now we can cat decoded user.text. WTF, this one is a simple one. So what do we do with this? Well, one thing we haven't done yet is SSH. So let's try that. If we go back, we can remember that I'm not going to look through all of it because I remember, but we remember that the IP is 128, and that connection is going to refuse because it defaults to port 22, and we know that there's a custom port which is we can specify with -p for port and put 55077, and here we see it's defaulting to the username Kali, which we don't want to do, so I'm going to control C out of that and specify the username, which is WTF. So saying WTF at this IP address using the port 55077, SSH into that, and the password we're going to put, this one is, oh, I've definitely typed that one wrong, I mean this one is a simple one. Right, and then we get into the SSH when you don't type the password wrong. So here we get some basic information. We get the date and the time, the system load, the usage of storage, memory usage, the IP address, and the swap usage. So what we can do here is ls, and we're in just a normal folder, and if we do who am I, we're WTF. So we're just in WTF's user folder, it appears, and what we can do is a cheeky privilege escalation, just because. So we'll do sudo switch user, and we know the password is this one. Oh, I got lost because I was saying it. What is it? This one is a simple one. This one is a simple one. And now we are root. You can see with who am I, root, and at the start. So what we can do now is scan these folders. We'll go into documents first. Oh, and we've got a backup .sh, a bash script. So we'll see what the code is here, and basic stuff. But we also see a user and password as well. User noob, and then awesome password. So what we'll do is we'll go to our Kali desktop, and we'll go to Noob.ova, and we'll create a new dir called SSH. We'll cd into SSH, and then we will sudo nano credentials dot text, put the password in, and I will Control Shift V, save and exit that. That's all I want to do there for now. And then we will cd ... to go back a directory. Now we can ls downloads. We're just traversing the directories really here. Oh, and we've got a flag1.txt, which is great. So we will have a look at that one, and there is our first flag. And I'm not actually sure what happens if you decode that. So let's decode download. Oh, my bad. Downloads, and that'll be flag 1. The flag is the encoded string itself. Okay, so this is the first flag. We have the first flag here. Beautiful stuff. And now we will just list pictures. Okay, we've got something there. List music. List public. Oh, my bad. Alright, so it appears only pictures has something now. So we've got echo.sh, so we can cat that by going into pictures, echo.sh, and we'll run it. We'll give them the pleasure. Bash pictures, and then echo. So it just says all the best. It's very nice. You see, these people are really romantic. And now we'll go back a directory into the home, and we can see we've got root here with 3 O's. And in here we've got flag.txt. Will it be that simple? No, it won't. A rabbit hole? Not sure. Well, look for the thing you want. It's just choose 2 steps ahead. Okay, so we'll go 2 steps ahead. And now we're in this folder. There's a root folder, which I'm intrigued by. So we'll go to root, have a look in here, and we've got root.txt. So we'll cat that. And here we go. Here's the final message. We've got a base64 string there. And then we have the plugs for the author, so check him out. And then thank you for playing the CTF, but remember, we're still noobs. Isn't that beautiful? So finally, I'm gonna do over here echo that. Oh, why has it done that? There we go. Echo that into base64 encoded.txt, and then we'll do base64 code and then base64 encoded.txt, and we'll put this into flag.txt, and then if we cat flag.txt, then we get endorse me on LinkedIn, and we have Deepak Ahir on LinkedIn. And that is the end of the CTF. So thank you very much for watching. That is everything really. So it's quite a fun CTF, I think. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys had fun too. See you later.